Well, we're here again today with coach of the Panton Hill Footy Club, Dean Haydock, and Dougie Long from the Northern Footy League. He's going to report on the game. And I'm here with mixed feelings today because I thought we played extremely well in the first quarter. Even though I listened to all your comments at before the game and quarter time, half time, and I disagreed, Dean. I thought they played the second, third and fourth quarter. I know it was a hard slog, but I just didn't think they played up to their capabilities.
Johnny, look, it was always going to be a hard game, you know, in these conditions, and Watsonia were coming for us. They were up and about from last week. They beat, I think, Reservoir by 10 goals last week, and they wanted a scalp. They wanted another big scalp, and we knew they were always going to come for us. And yeah, the boys were up and about, but I think it just got hard. It got wet. Watsonia wanted the ball just as much what we did, Johnny, and it was never going to be a pretty game of football. But you know, Johnny, you come out with the points, I'll take it every time.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I knew that's what you'd say.
Yeah.
And rightly so too, really.
Yeah.
I mean, because as a spectacle, I suppose I was disappointed. That's about all.
Yeah.
There were just a couple of patches of the play that I thought we let ourselves down. Sometimes we, especially in the last quarter, around the middle, we missed out in the ruck and they got the clearances quite easily. Doug, have you got some questions for Dean?
Dean, I sort of thought you had the game in control all day. You started off well and you had Gilmore, looks like, following around Lockie Dornoff all day, and you almost looked lost when Lockie Dornoff went off injured. You know, it looks like you didn't know what to do. Were you happy with this game?
Yeah, look, I was. Lockie set off the back of the pack a lot, which is okay, but then he actually sets him up really well. So we made a decision after quarter time that someone had to go with him and just sacrifice their game and sit back off the pack, which Kano does really well. And I think when Kano went to him, it really stopped his influence on the game. And Kano he's one of those people that he wants a job, he thrives in a job, and then once that job's done, he'll put his hand up and go, okay, where to next? And you know, once Lockie came off, we moved the side around a little bit, and you know, Kano came to the bench and filled another role for us.
Yeah, well, I saw live Lockie Dornoff in the Watsonia play last week, and he was much better last week. Another thing I noticed was actually last week they were able to move the ball freely, so I was really impressed with the pressure that you guys applied to them.
Yeah.
Not only on the ground but also in the air.
Yeah.
There was no easy mark and no easy ball. What do you think about that?
Dougie, against Thomastown we got a reality check, a huge reality check, and we were thoroughly disappointed with the way everybody played. And we pretty much went back to basics in one-on-one football, and we've been training the last couple of weeks. We've been going back to 1% of smothers, punching, tackling, blocking, and that's pretty much what we've worked on, because we realised against Thomastown we were just deficient in those areas. And I think it probably showed today. As soon as they picked the ball up, somebody was on them.
Yeah.
You know, somebody was chasing them. Somebody was doing something to harass them to bring the ball back in our possession. So I think we're working on that really well.
Yeah, and there was one time in the last quarter just down the forward pocket down here where there would have been about 4 or 5 tackles in a row. Yeah. And each time it looked like they had a chance to get out and score, and they didn't. So,
look, as I said, it's something we've worked on, and something the boys know that, you know, that's finals football. So you can't win finals unless you apply that much pressure to opposition side. So that's what we're trying to work on at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. And I think, you know, it would have been nice to, you know, win by 10 and be flashy and take big marks and everything, but that was probably a good final stage. You said a good final win, Dean.
Yeah. So. Look, we've had 2 games where we've been lucky enough to win really well, really well. But the players who put their hands up in these games, they're the ones who you go, okay, who can play finals? You know, who's prepared to put their body over the line when it's wet, muddy, and someone's run 100 miles at you? You know, can you put your head over the ball? And you know, we're lucky. I shouldn't say most. All our players did it and did it really well.
Yeah. No, that was great in that time. Who did you really like the performances of there, Dean?
Look, I reckon, if I go through the side, you know, it was one of those games, in all honesty, Doug, it was one of those games where everybody had to do the job when they had to go. I thought Kano did a really good job and you know, around the packs. Nathan Hendry and Tyler Scarce always do well. Teddy did a fantastic job in the ruck. He rucked pretty much all day and did a great job. Callum Still's first half was outstanding. Joffa's first half was outstanding. So, you know, blokes did their job when they had to do. Without anyone over the top, you know, they did their job when they had to.
Yeah, no, that was good. Now, the thing that stood out to me was the pressure. That was great. What else have we got here? It just seemed to me, yeah, that's right, there was even. There wasn't anyone that really stood out fantastically. I thought Bock was really good.
Yeah.
And I just want to know what he can run 100 metres in, because he never looks like he's going at more than half pace, actually, when he runs.
Oh, look, he's a good player, Bock, and it's one of those things that one thing, he can take a fantastic mark, and he's a person that can set a game alive, but he's also a person that can be really, really down when he's down. Yeah. So he's just got to find that middle ground where he's just consistently playing good football, Doug, and in the last 3 or 4 games he's starting to find that.
Yep. All right. Now, did you make any, apart from Kane Gilmore, did you make any other moves? It didn't seem to be a game full of moves today.
No.
Pretty much stay on your man, and
It was. It was mainly one-on-one football. You try to give the midfielders a rotation every now and then when you can, to give them a breather, and you rotate them through. Same with the wingmen, but the back line pretty much stayed the same. The forward line pretty much stayed the same, and I back my boys to go one-on-one with everybody, and I think in the end, they did that today.
Yeah, you have to. Now, Brodie Riccardi, number 13, kicked 13 goals in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Strongy seemed to be on him most of the day.
Yep.
You'd be very happy with these.
Yeah. Well, I spoke to Strongy about that during the week. He said this guy's kicked a few goals and he's a good player. And also Bennett, I think at full forward too. We spoke to Gurkha about him as well, and we said they're both of them very, very dangerous. And Bennett popped up and kicked a couple, which they're always someone's going to kick goals for him. But I thought both of them did a really, really good job on their men for the day.
All right. Now Riccardi, actually, they shoved him into the centre in the third quarter, and I was just trying to keep track of everything. Did Strongy go in and follow?
No. We back our midfielders every time, mate.
Right.
So I'll let Simo and Chook and TJ and Pekka or Bryce, whoever goes in there, we'll back them 100%.
Yeah. So. Right. That was actually a good move by them, because he actually got into the game a little bit then. But I thought when he went forward again, then pretty much Strongy sent out and covered. Yep. From, down the back.
Yeah,
line,
he did. So. He's a smart player, Strongy, and he knows how to play on good players. So we're very lucky that he's down there in that position for us.
Yep. All right. Now we've got a couple of players out injured. When are you going to come back?
Look, I'm desperate to play. Myself and Lloydie Toffline's out, and Brett Middleton, one of our ruckmen, he's out as well at the moment. Yep. And Lockie Pearson broke his finger on the weekend, so there's probably 4 or 5 of us who are out at the moment. We'll all probably be back. Reservoir game, we'll probably, in all honesty, we'll probably miss next week. Yep. But Reservoir game, if not after the bye, a lot of us are itching to have another go at Thomastown, Doug. So
all right. Now that'll be interesting, because the Thomastown game you were down, and it's still a very interesting season. Now there's a lot to be played out.
Yep.
Johnny, you got any questions there?
No, you've covered it very well, mate. I've just had a day off today. It's been good.
Would you like to come here in front of the camera?
No. I'm perfectly comfortable at the back of the camera, mate. I just press the buttons and make it work. I most thank you very much again, Doug. You've been very good. And don't move out of the shot, mate. You have to shoot over this side. That's the way. And we look forward to catching up with you again. And Dean, as usual, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, Johnny, it's always an absolute pleasure, mate.
Good on you, matey. Thank you. We're lucky enough again today. We're at the Rosanna. We're at the Watsonia ground, and we're talking to Benny Strongman and his father Randall. And Benny, congratulations! You've played your 150th game for the Panton Hill Footy Club today.
Thanks, Johnny.
According to some people, you didn't realise it was going to happen today. Is that right?
I had no idea. Johnny.
Okay. Benny, where did you start your football?
I started at Lowell Plenty, had 3 years there, 5 years at Panton Hill, 2 years back at Lowell Plenty, and now 2 years here.
And where did you play your junior footy?
I played my junior footy at Research.
Research. How long were you there for?
Probably 10 years in the juniors.
10 years in the juniors. Did you take him, Randall?
Yes, we supported Ben all the way through, and he was always enjoyable to watch. He was always at the bottom of the pack. So I'm really
Nothing's
happy.
changed there, Randall, has it?
No, I'm really happy with his achievements, and he's been a good lad with it. Yep.
Yeah. And this is going to be a final year, or are you going to have another go next year at it? What's going to happen?
I'm feeling pretty good, Johnny, so I want to play as long as I can, and if the body feels good, I'll keep playing.
Yeah, well, I got a couple of mates of mine up the country that played in AFL and VFL in those days, and they played till they were 40. So a long time, mates. You might be able to do that. Do you think?
Don't think so, Johnny, but I'll do my best, mate.
There's always super rules. There are.
Yeah, super. I've never watched a game. What's it like?
Slow motion football.
Is it slow motion? Well, that'd suit him, wouldn't it? Hey?
Yes.
Suit some of the others we got in the side too. There's none of them listeners, is there?
Yeah. And they all play with hamstrings and so it would suit him.
Fletcher plays with 38.
What do you think of today's game, Ben?
Really hard fought. Watsonia threw everything at us, and I thought it was a really good win. Especially in the last quarter, they were coming at us, and the boys really held strong, and we're wrapped with a win, so it was good.
Do you think we played up to expectations? Was it from looking at it, it didn't seem to be well, it wasn't a good game to watch. But I just thought we were down a little. The first quarter was excellent, I thought. It's only my opinion, of course. But the other three were not as good.
Yeah, the conditions were hard. I honestly thought we were on from start till finish. Probably only one little 10-minute lapse. But yeah, just with those conditions, we probably handballed too much and probably should have kicked when we kicked long a few times. So I was really happy. I think it was a good win in those conditions.
You're playing very well on the back line, Benny. Where do you prefer to play?
I used to love playing midfield, but I think we got some really good young players now, a lot of leg speed, so I'm really happy in the back line and pretty comfortable there playing next to your son Joffa.
The other slave bloke in the field. Yeah, the other slave bloke. I've always said ever since he was a little bloke he couldn't run out of sight in the dark night. I'm getting to the stage I don't think he can walk out of sight in the dark night now. I shouldn't say that because he's not a bad player. I should have some other questions for you, but I haven't got
John,
much.
I've got a question. Ben, do you think our side's travelling better this year than last year?
Yes, definitely. I think last year we were sort of a bit heavy. We like wet conditions, and we were all a bit slow. And it showed in the finals that we got right off our legs against a quick young side. And I think this year we got the right mix to go one step further and win it. Still a long way to go, but definitely got a better side. I think stronger side than last year.
I agree, and in fact, I think I've said on this segment before that the young blokes that have been introduced into the team have made an enormous difference, not only giving us a speed, but the older blokes around them have helped as well, and yourself included, and Joffa and Finney and Pecker and these sort of blokes have added just that sparkle we need, and it seemed to put a little bit more enthusiasm into your games as well. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season.
Just one more question, please. Do you think we're spreading the ball better now? Do you really believe that we're passing off to the best option and looking after each other?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just a completely different side compared to last year. I think round one we had 13 new players in the side. So yeah, it's everyone's sort of adapting to the game plan, and I think everyone's a lot fitter. A few blokes who were overweight last year have lost a bit of weight, and we seem to have more run in the legs, and yeah, I think the spread's really good. We look completely different compared to last year, so it's exciting at the moment.
Is it true you've lost 10 kgs from last year?
Yeah, I was a little bit fat last year, a little bit chubby, and after losing the grand final, I decided to try and go on a bit of a diet, and I've dropped 10 kegs, so moving a little bit better than last year, which is good.
Well, that's got you to where you are today, too. 150 games, mate. That's an amazing effort, and the Panton Hill Footy Club congratulates you, and everyone connected with the Panton Hill Footy Club, and me personally also. And we thank you, Randall, and we thank you, Ben, for your time in talking to us today.
Cheers, Johnny. Thanks, mate.